Welcome, everybody, to the R&R CatCast, a fan-based podcast focusing on Montana State athletics. We're two dudes named Ryan from the state of Washington talking about our dear Montana State. We hope you enjoy. All right, welcome back, Bobcat fans. Thanks for joining us on another Instant Reaction Show. I'm here with Ryan Thornburg. We're going to discuss the Montana State Instant Reaction Show, the Gold Rush beatdown against Maine. It's coming in a little bit late here on Sunday, but we're going to get it to you. We'll go down through the big sky, talk about the picture after week 2, which really feels like week 3, right? Since we had week 0. And then we'll give you the good, the okay, and the bad. A quick hitter. How you doing, Thorny?
Doing all right, man. Excited to talk about the game. That was a good game. Fun game to watch.
I kind of felt like a tale of two halves to me.
For sure.
I knew after the first quarter, that was like one of the best first quarters, maybe the best first quarter I've ever witnessed. I was like, it's not going to get much better from here. It would be hard pressed to get better from there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, second half, some work upon. We'll talk about that.
Sounds good. All right. Well, what do you want to do? Go around the big sky? We actually get to do that this time.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. The first game I have at the top of my ESPN scoreboard is Northern Arizona 10, number 20, Arizona 22. NAU was actually winning at one point in this game. I think it was 10-3, then 10-6. Then they got shut out in the second half, and Arizona scored 16 points. Losing 10-22 to a number 20 team in the country is pretty strong showing for NAU.
It was a little bit surprising to see how close they kept it. You texted early on in the half. You're like, Northern Arizona. I was like, pump the brakes. We got a second half to go. Yeah, but the number 20 team did not really hang it to what we would consider a middling team in the Big Sky. So we'll see how Northern Arizona pans out, but that's a good showing for them.
They tend to play some of these games tough, so it's not necessarily indicative of how good NAU is. I think they beat Arizona last year, didn't they? They might have beat them last year or 2 years ago, but
yeah, that's popping up in my brain somewhere. All right, next one is Idaho at Wyoming. Idaho goes scoreless in the second half, but holds on for a 17-13 win. Idaho's 1-1 on the season. I'm really impressed with the Vandals right now and Coach Eck, and I just think they're a strong defensive unit. I think they've had some quarterback injuries. I know they've had some quarterback injuries. So it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back. But you think Idaho and you think of Hayden Hatton and, Sean McCoy or Sean McCoy. Is that
Giovanni?
Giovanni. Oh my gosh. Shady McCoy. There you go. You think of those guys, but no, you're going to be thinking of defense this year. A good showing for them, man. After coming off a close game with Oregon and now Wyoming. Who's to say how Wyoming is going to go throughout the year, but pretty impressive. I'm pretty high on the Vandals right now.
Yeah, I was looking at it. Wyoming lost their first game 48-7 against Arizona State, and then 17-13 to Idaho. So Wyoming has 20 combined points through 2 games. Yeah. Not. I don't think Wyoming's going to be particularly good this year, but that's an awesome win for Idaho. I think I saw first time in like 103 years they beat Wyoming or something like that.
Yeah.
Idaho State, the other Idaho squad, smokes Western Oregon, which is what, a D2 or NAIA? I can never remember, but it doesn't matter. They're division or 2 below, 50-10, and they should be winning these games. Even any Big Sky team should be winning this game with that score.
Idaho State's quarterback had 343 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions.
2 interceptions, though, which is kind of a little concerning, I would imagine, against a Western Oregon.
Yeah, 350 yards.
How many attempts is that?
I'm not going to click into the stat, but Kobe Tracy.
42.
Yeah, 42. Oh, wow. Yeah, air raid. All right. The one that probably Bobcat fans echoed through the stadium last night, Montana lost to North Dakota 24-27. I thought this game was in the bag. The Grizzlies scored 21 points in the first quarter. The only time I tuned into this game, I just clicked on it as I was driving somewhere briefly, and I watched Ayat throw a strike for a touchdown to, I think, Fonts, and I was like, sure. As soon as I click it, they're going to score, and I was like, I'm done with these guys. And then it just said like, they were boat racing UND early, and then they didn't score in the second half. And I think I was watching the presser. Coach Halk said they only had like one first down in the second half. So that's a struggling game for Montana, which we're always happy to see. I kind of had the thought in my brain last night. I was like, is this their Northern Arizona game for this year? As we were all like really contemplating or questioning them last year. Not sure. So I'm sure they'll right the ship, but a chink in their armor.
I mean, I'll give myself a little pat on the back on this one. I'm pretty sure I called this loss on our little preseason episode when we went game by game for every team. I had the Grizz losing to UND, and unfortunately, not much else. Maybe the Cats later on, but yeah. And it's funny. North Dakota pretty much had the exact opposite. They almost did the entire comeback in the third quarter. So it was a tale of two halves, much like the Cat game that we'll get to. Colorado State smokes Northern Colorado. Nothing to be surprised about there. 38-17. I guess it's not atrocious, but with 24-7 at halftime, I'm sure Colorado State got some backups in. Still don't know anything about Northern Colorado.
Nope. Cal Poly loses to Stanford. Stanford.
Oh, yeah, I skipped that one, sorry.
41-7. To be expected on that one. Cal Poly is just going to really continue to struggle this year. They might not win any games. So I'm not sure if I can't remember if we penciled them out against Northern Colorado, if they actually play each other, but that might be one of the only chances for those two teams.
Toilet Bowl.
Yeah.
Candidate of the year right there.
Oh my gosh. The next one was a shocker.
Yeah. Eastern Washington losing at home to Drake. Non-scholarship, or, at least they used to be. I don't know what conference affiliations happen anymore, but Drake, not a historically good football program, comes into Cheney and wins 35-32 in overtime. I didn't watch any of this game. Did you catch any of it?
Yeah, that is a bad loss for Eastern Washington. Wow. I don't think Drake is on scholarship.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, man, Eastern Washington, a once very proud football team. That's a tough loss, man. That could send you spiraling. So
they had a decent win in their first game, didn't they? Yeah,
Drake?
No, Eastern. They beat Monmouth 42-27 and putting up tons of yards. Like, all right, maybe Eastern's back, a little bit, and that's a bad one at home. But it's super early season. But
so Drake's quarterback passed for almost 400 yards with 2 touchdowns. That is insane.
So the defense for the Eagles still maybe problematic. All right. I guess this one's yours.
Okay. This is, I think, a non-conference game, but Weber State played Portland State. Weber State and Portland State were actually pretty close during the halftime. It was 10-16. Weber up, but then Weber puts 24 of them on the fourth quarter. So it ends up winning, going away 43-16. And Portland State just looks like they gave up. I didn't watch any of that game, but that was a shocker to me when I woke up.
It's got to be Barney's last year. Although they might just keep him around forever because he works for like literal peanuts. Man, that's a bad
pretzels.
loss. Yeah, works for pretzels and peanuts. They can't afford to hire anybody else, and I think Barney likes it. So I think they'll just keep rolling until they just either cancel the program or Barney retires. Fresno State takes care of Sac State 46-30. Still don't know anything about Sac State either. That was kind of they played 2 FBS games to start off the year. It's pretty rough. 46-30 is not a terrible final score, but I think looking at the score, might have been a lot of backups in for Fresno State. But, don't know what to take away from that one. Didn't watch any of that one either.
You have a senior in Caden Bennett, the quarterback, who is not getting the majority of the snaps. And
he's not anymore?
No, they're splitting time right now, Carson Conklin and Caden Bennett, and I just think that's a disaster. So,
all right,
last one. Scroll down. Davis takes it to Texas A&M Commerce, 36-22. And I don't know anything about this one either because I don't know anything about Texas A&M Commerce. I clicked into them yesterday. They seem somewhat competitive, but if there's a team I haven't really heard of, that's them. I was expecting Davis to put it a little bit more hurt.
They're new to the FCS as the last few years.
Okay. Well,
I think they moved up from D2.
yeah.
Their quarterback threw for 457 yards and 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions against Davis. That's interesting.
Whoa, I didn't see that stat. Oh, man. Jeez. What's going on?
I mean, that might be all they do is throw the ball, but dang. I mean, they got shut out in the first half and scored all 22 points in the second half to kind of, it was 9-0 at halftime. Ugh, snoozer. A little bit of fireworks in the second half, I guess.
Still don't know a lot about the Big Sky. I put out a power ranking. We'll talk about that tomorrow during our main show. Tom Cat roasted me on Bobcat Nation, apparently, saying I know nothing, and then quoted Billy Madison, and I was slow on the uptake on that one. So, whatever. We're good. We're rolling.
Yep.
If you want to put out your power ranking, I'm going to ask you about that tomorrow, Thorny, by the way. You're going to have a power ranking from me.
Okay, I'll do a power ranking.
All right. Well, let's get into the game. Gold Rush game.
All right. Yeah, that was a tale of two halves, like you said. Bobcats win pretty handily, regardless of how it went. Why can I not find the score here? 41-24. There it is. All right. And it was what? 38-7 at halftime, and the game was over.
Yeah.
The game was over partway through the second quarter, really. But pretty interesting game. A lot to talk about in this game. So let's do some quick hitting. What do you got in your good category?
21 points in the first quarter. Absolutely explosive. Almost 28 points in the first quarter. We were just seconds away from eclipsing that. And it just looked like the Montana State Bobcats were clicking on all cylinders offensively and defensively. Just the vim, the straight vim to the veins from the Gold Rush. They were feeling it. There was no way. I mean, Maine was just, they looked lost, and we just run roughshod over them. We had 372 yards, total yards, 192 rushing yards just in the first half. So let's go.
Yeah, we had 230 yards and 151 on the ground in the first quarter.
Oh, my word.
And Maine had 8 rushing yards and 49 total yards in the first quarter. Bit of we just ran away with it right out of the gate. So my good is the running back room, man. I was watching a little bit of that Wyoming-Idaho game, and you're looking at Jahari Martin, like, man, the Cats' depth is so ridiculous because the guy at Wyoming is like, I don't think that guy would even be playing in Montana State. Yeah. That guy just looked slow. Like, the running back room is just an embarrassment of riches. That's my good category.
1-2 punch from Scottree and Adam Jones is
lethal.
Unreal right now. Yeah. We don't even have Julius Davis back.
I know. How do you get all 3 of those guys touches?
Jared White runs for 1 yard less than 100. It's impressive, man. One of the goods for me was just how dominant the O-line was.
Yep.
The first half, even with the shuffled O-line, it didn't seem to matter. Those holes were big. Impressive.
They were opening up holes, and the running backs were hitting, like, making the right reads. There was one where Scottree was running right, and then there was a defender waiting there, and he cut back left into a giant hole, and that was his large touchdown run, I think. It's just like, it was all just like a beautiful symphony that came together. It was amazing. It was fun to watch.
One of the things that I thought was good was not losing to Jahari Martin, believe it or not.
Yeah, that would have been a tough pill to swallow, I think.
He had the revenge factor going for him. I watched his little video he put out. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't know, Maine could sneak in there. I wasn't feeling super confident. Like, I thought for sure we were going to win this game, but I think the spread was 23 points or something like that. I didn't know if Montana State was going to do that. Yeah, it was fine. I didn't want to lose to Jahari.
No, he ended up with 8 carries for 26 yards, the long of 4.
It just makes me kind of sad for him a little bit too, because I really liked him as a Bobcat. Yeah. I thought he was like an awesome fullback, and I just wish he would have stuck out. So I think he had favor with the coaching regime, and I don't know, didn't have favor with Vegan's regime.
No, but it is what it is. Casualties, and it's crazy. I was thinking about that, like the Basically, like our second string fullback is now a starting running back at another FCS program. Just shows you the depth at Montana State.
Mhm.
What else is in the good category? I thought Tommy had a really good game. 12 of 15, 144 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions, 80% completion rating, 182.6 overall rating. Nice job, Tommy. Didn't start off slow this time.
I thought the Gold Rush atmosphere, again, is elite. I
Lights
love
out.
seeing the students just jam-packed in there, all the cut-off sleeves, everybody just like fancying up their shirts. I think that's pretty cool. Being 3-0 is something that's super awesome. I think this is something I'll continue to talk about tomorrow. I think Montana State's in a really good spot right now.
Yeah,
A really good spot.
Yeah, in the good category, kind of piggyback off that is I think I saw a ton of improvement. Everyone always says like the biggest improvement is from game 1 to game 2. I'm not sure I saw that. I think defensively, I thought at Utah Tech, the defense took a huge step forward, and I think they continued that. And now the offense seems to be kind of catching up too. It seems like we're kind of clicking on all cylinders pretty well right now. And I think there's a lot of improvement left, which is good. We haven't peaked, but I've seen a ton of improvement, and I'm liking where the Cats are. That's definitely the good category.
We had a pump block.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen one of those in a while.
Yeah. And some sacks.
There you go.
Finally. Did anybody have Hunter Parsons' first sack of the season on their bingo card?
I did not.
Nope. In the third game of the season.
Yeah.
But we ended up with 2 sacks, I think. I think Brody Grebe got back there too. It was a good performance by the D-line, and they were disrupting him all day. Like that guy, PV didn't have any time at all. He was scrambling around and making time for himself, but he was flushed out like constantly.
Yeah, we were aggressive. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple on individuals, but I think I'm going to save them for tomorrow when we do the long form. So I'm ready to move on to the okay, unless you have anything else.
I think I'm okay. I think I'm good on the good.
Okay. Moving into the okays, I thought just the second half running and the second half defense left a lot to be desired. Essentially, we got outscored, I believe, like 24-3 in about a little more than 2-ish quarters. And so when we say it's a tale of two halves, it really was. It was hard to watch the second half. Got a little easier towards the fourth quarter. For me, I felt like Montana State got a little bit more rhythm and the defense started to settle down a little bit, but it was kind of frustrating.
I mean, there was in the text string that we were in, and it was crossing my mind too. It was like, do we have to bring Tommy back in? Like we were getting up a lot of points real quick there, and it's like if that continued, we're going to put the starters back in. But yeah, like you said, we kind of even the ship. But yeah, it was just definitely in the okay category. I wouldn't say bad because you got to put it on a curve. They're the backups for a reason, right? They're the second unit for a reason. But you hope to see a little bit better production out of that. But they got a lot of good experience, though.
A post-game press conference, Coach Vegan was like, well, we're going to have to go back to the shuffleboard. This it's been a rough day. The drawing board and kind of reevaluate some of our depth because I think when the lights came on, some guys showed themselves to be gamers and some guys didn't. And that came out in the second half for me. And so just not entirely dominating and not just like cruise into a victory, not getting a touchdown essentially in the second half just felt weird.
So, good category. Miles Stanstead. I'll turn it back around because you said we didn't have a touchdown. And I was like, yeah, because we had field goals and we actually made them.
Yeah.
So I'll just throw that back to the good category real quick. I get a
from
shout
both
out.
ashes too.
Yeah.
So good for him.
I mean, those were not gimmies last year.
He's looking better, like just smoother. Like I noticed that right away. Like his leg swing is smoother and his PATs more consistent, higher depth or higher pop on them. So I think he's coming around.
I think he's getting more comfortable and more confident. And I don't think he has a real big leg, but I think he's a guy can hit you a 40-yard field goal,
Yeah. All right. Anything else in the okay?
No. I mean, everything's good from this game pretty much.
Yeah. I don't really have anything in the bad. Time of possession kind of bothered me a little bit. We got gashed in the second half. Them hitting quite a few third down passes against us in the secondary when we were, mixed up. Communication was not there. So nitpicky stuff, but overall, happy to watch a Gold Rush game and beat a team that I think Maine's a solid outfit. I really do. Are they going to win the Coastal Conference? No, but they're pretty solid.
No, they got some players. I think their defense is got some problems. But they won't see another team that kind of plays like we do. I don't know. Their linebackers looked slow and they got washed up and bit on everything.
Yeah.
But it happens to when teams play the Bobcat. That's why the Bobcats rush for 350 yards a game.
Averaging 350 yards a game. That's crazy.
I don't know what it is. I'm just guessing it's 344 this game. But I'm just like, that's kind of like a goal, a metric, right? With the Cats, 350 is like, you're not shocked at all by that number. It's like that's a Montana State offense right there, 350 rushing yards.
That's wild. All right.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say on this game. It was kind of loved the atmosphere, loved the run out, loved the jerseys. I thought those were an awesome choice.
The script on the helmets was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping for just like a yellow helmet though, just like old school 84 helmet. If we can afford that one year, please bring that back. That was really cool. Do you like the white helmets? I know they're really leaning into the white helmets.
I'm okay with them. I don't love white helmets, but I'm okay with them. They're fine.
Yeah. I kind of like the gold helmet more than I like the white.
Yeah. I think the white's grown on me a little bit, but it's never going to be like a favorite.
Okay. All right, Thorny. That's it.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening to our quick little hitting instant reaction show that we format in the good, the okay, and the bad. We'll be back tomorrow to do the full recap of it and the preview for our next game, which I don't even know who it is at the moment. So I got a lot of research to do. You can always find us on Twitter, RRCatcast. You can find us on the web, rrcatcast.com. Shoot us an email at rrcatcast@gmail.com. And Foley, let's get out of here. Go Cats.
Go Cats.
Go Cats.